Hello everybody, it's Wendy here from the Indigo Blue team with another project. I thought this might make a nice thing to do if you're looking for a last minute Christmas gift or something like that, because it's really easy, really straightforward, and hopefully the outcomes are quite effective. So we're going to play with a bit of rice paper today. Some of these A5 rice paper sheets are absolutely stunning. I particularly like this sunflowers one, and there's another one in the A4 size which is quite nice as well. So what I'm looking at is a canvas little bag, a pencil case or a makeup pouch or something like that, that we're going to apply the rice paper to using some Slap It On. So the first thing we need to do, I think, is maybe put some, I don't know whether to paint it before I put the rice paper on or do it afterwards. I might do it first. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'll do it first, I think. And I'm just going to paint along these edges to sort of blend in a little bit. Right, before we do that though, let's get this rice paper to size. I've already gone round with a wet brush and done these edges, but in case people are not quite sure how to do it, I'm sure you've seen it lots of times though, but we'll do it again. I'm just taking a wet brush and I'm running along the edge of where I want to tear, and keeping my thumb on the bit that I want to keep. I'm just gently pulling that waste away and down a bit further. Keep my thumb on the keeping bit and pull the waste away. And doing it this way rather than cutting it means that these feathered edges that I'm getting will blend really nicely into the project. So that's all the waste off. Now it's apparent that this piece is still too big for here, so I don't want to lose too much of the sunflower, but I don't want to lose all of that lovely sunset sky. So I might just take a little bit off both ends so that I can keep a good balance on the piece. So just again, wet brush and pull away a little bit. So that's a bit taken off the top, and I'll take some off the bottom as well. Anything extra can just get, I don't know whether I want to wrap it round or not, probably not, so I think I'm just going to trim that a tiny bit more across that middle piece. And we'll go with that, I think. Anything extra can just get wrapped in with the glue. So I'm going to use Slap It On matte. Just move my paints out of the way, and I'm going to squeeze out quite a bit onto the glass mat at the side of me. Now I've put a piece of card inside here just so that nothing goes through to the other side. It's just a bit of scrap card cut to size, and hopefully that will stop too much going through, especially when we come to paint, so that we don't get any colour or anything transferred through to the other side. So we'll load up the surface with Slap It On right up to the edge, but avoiding the zip. And apply some Slap It On quite liberally to the back of the rice paper. And then we'll adhere this as centrally as we can. I know I'm going to have to paint the edges just to blend in the colours there. Right, once we've got it on, we've got a Slap It On going over the top from the middle out, and this way we'll get rid of any air bubbles. I might tear this little bit so that it's more in line with the edge of the pouch. And because it's wet with the Slap It On, we can do that quite easily. There we go, that's better. All right, this one needs to dry. Might just get glue on those edges just to make sure it's well sealed. The fabric pouch, by the way, I got from Amazon. I think Indigo Blue used to stock something similar, but they're not on the website at the moment, so you can get these on Amazon quite cheap. I think I got a pack of 10 for not very much money, and used some for another project that I did. So that needs to dry, so I'm going to put that to one side, let that dry, and then we'll come in with some paint at the sides and do something with that. Meanwhile, I'll just put that Slap It On back in the pot so it doesn't all dry up on my glass mat. So I'm going to put that just over away and give my mat a bit of a wipe, just so I don't want any glue on it. And I'll wash that brush. So this A4 sheet, I thought, because it contrasts with the sunflowers, I'd quite like some of these sunflowers on the reverse side. So I'm thinking that this spray here I will tear out using that same technique, but I will then paint the back of this before I stick those sunflowers on the back, just as an accent piece, and see how that works. So while we're waiting for that to dry, will come in again with the water and tear in and around the piece that we want. I really like this dark green, so I might try and save some of that. And of course we save all our scraps of rice paper because you never know when a little bit might come in handy. These little coloured backgrounds just can go on anything really, to break the page in an art journal when you're not sure where to start. Just paste some of this on and you've instantly got some colour. So I'm coming around to this second stalk here, and then I want to come up. Don't know if you can hear any banging going on out there. Our neighbours are having an extension done and they've got the builders in at the moment. They haven't started too long ago, and it's not been too bad so far, so hopefully there won't be much in the way of disruption for us. But this is not summer and we're wanting to sit out in the garden. Right, that's the main part of it done. I think I shall probably have to trim that down because I think it's looking too big. My thinking is it would go more on its side, so maybe I might even get rid of the stalks, because that gives it too much direction and it doesn't look right. So I think I might come up here and get rid of the stalks. There we are, and I think that'll look great on there as I say, an accent piece. I'll work out which way around I want it, possibly that way I think. But I'm going to put some more colour on the back of this before I do, but I wonder if I dare do that before that one's dry. I don't see why not. Let's give it a try. And both sides then can dry at the same time. And I'll switch the video off and come back to it later for you. So for this, I think I'm going to go with the yellow. Now whether I go with yellow submarine or the yellow ochre, I need to decide. This is a matte and this is a translucent paint. I think I might go for the translucent. I think they look nicer on fabric because they sort of blend into the fibres a bit more. Right, decision made. It's yellow ochre. And I'll get a broad paintbrush. Pop some of that out on my mat. And a water spray. I'm going to spray the fabric so that that's got quite a bit of wetness to it, and it'll help the paint run and absorb because I don't want it too thick. So I've sprayed it on my mat a little bit to water it down. Take it right up to the edge of the zip. Making sure my card underneath is where I'm painting. Don't know why that's not sticking. I wonder if it's... I should perhaps have left it. Oh, we'll persevere. It does feel quite wet. Scrub out some of that colour. Oh, I wonder, because I've used ordinary Slap It On. I wonder if I should have used the fabric. Let me get some fabric, Slap It On, and see if it does any better. So I'll put the lid on the mat and try the fabric. Sorry, can you see? This is all going a bit pear-shaped, but it's fine. This is what half of the fun is, working out what's gone wrong and putting it right. I did think about using the fabric, but I thought, as I'm only putting rice paper on, I thought the ordinary one would have worked. There's always a way around it, in theory. looking better. And leave that to dry. That's going to go on there. Get out some of the heavier paintbrush marks, but they'll be fine at the end. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, leave all that to dry and see how that comes together. See you in a while. So I'm back with the next stage of this project. This has been drying for a little while. It's not fully dry, but it's dry enough on the back for us to do what I want to do. So that's the rice paper that we put on earlier. A bit of painting on the background. I did paint right across the seams and up to the edges of the rice paper so that there are no sort of white edges. And then we cut out, well, we didn't cut out, we tore out using that water method these sunflowers from the A4 sheet of rice paper, and I think decided that it was going to go on like that. I don't like this little bit just sticking off the end there, so I think we'll do that on there. So learning from the first part of the project, we'll make sure that we use the right slap it on and use the slap it on fabric. So I'm just putting a little bit out, well, quite a bit out onto the glass mat, and we'll do what it says on the jar and slap it on. So we'll pop that on there. I still got the little bit of cardboard inside to stop the glue going through to the other side of the canvas pouch. We've got a fair bit on there, and we'll make sure we've got plenty on the back of the rice paper as well. This is a nice project to use your rice paper stash. If you're anything like me, you see these lovely designs, buy it, and then it gets added to a pile of stuff that you've got and you can't bring yourself to use it. So time to get it done, time to use it up. So I'll get rid of that glue on there. In we go with those sunflowers, and more rice paper over the top to seal it and get rid of any potential for bubbles or wrinkles. Excess, slap it on back in the jar. And once that's dry, that is more or less it. I will pause the video there to let that dry and then come back and show you the finished product when it's all done. So come back for part 3 in a little while. So we've done the final bit of drying. This was the piece that we put on last from the large A4 sheet. That's been drying on the radiator because at this time of year it's taking quite a long time to dry just naturally in the air. So I just popped it on the radiator for a bit of extra warmth. and I think the only last thing that I need to do is pop a little bit of extra paint on this bit here that I can see I missed when I did the last bit. So just a tiny little bit on the mat and just sort of touch in around there. I'll give it a spray of water just to, so having said it's finally dry, it's not quite, so just touch up that edge to blend in to the paper. There we are. Okay, so that's the project pretty much done, I would say. I'll take the, I will take it out because I'm not going to be worrying about that. So we started off with that lovely A5 sheet of rice paper. We had the A4 sheet that we cut the focal point on the other side out of, which was the sunflowers, some yellow ochre translucent paint, a canvas pouch that you can buy from Amazon or other places are available, and there we have it. We've got our lovely field of sunflowers on one side, focal point on the other, and that's all set to use for whatever you want. It'll take a few, you pop your pens in, you can take makeup brushes, or what I sometimes like to do is to make up my little kits. So I might have my beading needles and a few beads and whatever I need if I'm taking those out, or even just to put on my shelf so I can find it easily. Bookbinding kit, things like that. A little handy storage pouch, quick and easy, and in actual fact it's probably taken more time drying than it has in the making. Hope you like it. If you make anything similar or anything at all, please share it on our Indigo Blue Facebook page. We'd love to see it. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.